good stuff. Amazing. All right. It's for good reason that in Dante's Inferno, the author explained that pride was the eighth circle of hell, because all other sins can be derived from this. And at the center of that pride, the Holy Fathers explicitly explain that one of the greatest tragedies that lead us into the state is judgment. Judgment is always understood logically and spiritually to be a great liar, a deceiver. Logically, this is just true on its very face. When we judge someone else, we are assuming them from a scope that we have, an imperfect scope also. When we judge someone else, it's always done in a sea of inaccuracy. By its very state, it's done this way. So, unless you know someone absolutely perfectly, if you know someone with absolute clarity, if you know someone and can see every one of their sins, know their entire history, their childhood, they were raised, all the reasons why they might be doing what's tempting you to judge them, then, even then, we do not judge. Now, no one is like this. In fact, the spiritual life is for us to even be able to see ourselves this way, with that type of clarity, with that type of insight. That's the great struggle that we go through. And God in His mercy never reveals us to ourselves in our entirety. The reason for this is that if He did so all at once, we would inevitably fall into despair because of how sick and mutilated and dirty we ourselves are and our soul is. Rather, the way God works in our own lives, so that we don't even judge ourselves and we're not tempted to do so to as great of an extent as possible, is that as we come to know God, He slowly reveals to us who we are, so that we may be able to slowly chip or wipe away the imperfections that we have. When we recognize this, that not only is it a great sin to judge the other, not only are we taking on a title that God has as judge, in saying that we are God, therefore I can judge. But when we actually look at it from a logical standpoint of, I don't know myself fully, how could I even begin to know my brother? How could I even assume that I could be accurate in any single possible way about this other person? It becomes very, very clear that judgment becomes frivolous. It becomes a waste of time. It becomes something that distracts us from ourselves and distracts us from God. Hallelujah, I'm ready. Hallelujah.